In the dusty streets of a Nigerian village, a ragged stranger stumbled forward, his eyes pleading for aid. Children scattered like leaves in the wind, ignoring his weak calls. Only one young face paused, drawn by compassion unseen in others. What unimaginable fate awaited this lone act of kindness? If this tale stirs your heart, dear listener, subscribe now to journey with me through more wonders of our African lands, where every story holds a hidden treasure. In the bustling village of Yumuz near Enugu, young Chiamaka lived with her widowed mother Ngozi in a modest mud brick house surrounded by yam mounds and palm trees. Chiamaka, 12 years old, was small but strong, with bright, curious eyes and a quick smile that warmed even the grumpiest elders. She helped her mother sell roasted plantain and akara at the market square every morning, her laughter ringing above the noisy traders. Her best friend Kamsi, tall and loud, always teased her for being too soft-hearted, saying kindness would only bring trouble one day. Ngozi, thin from years of hard work, wore faded wrappers and carried quiet pride, teaching Chiamaka to greet everyone respectfully no matter their station. The village buzzed with daily life. Children chasing tires, women pounding fufu, men arguing under the ancient Irako tree about football and politics. Yet lately whispers spread like harmattan dust. Strangers were disappearing after passing through Yumuz, never seen again. Chiamaka noticed the fear in people's eyes, though nobody spoke openly, and she wondered what secret shadow hung over their peaceful days. One scorching afternoon, a gaunt stranger limped into Yumuz market, clothes torn, feet bleeding, voice hoarse from thirst. Most traders turned away, muttering "another madman," while children pointed and laughed, running to hide behind stalls. Chiamaka, balancing a tray of hot plantain, saw the man collapse near the palm wine tapper's shed, ignored by everyone passing by. Her heart twisted sharply, remembering her late father's words. A stranger is a guest sent by Chukwu until proven otherwise. She dropped her tray, hurried over and knelt beside him, offering her small water gourd with trembling hands. The stranger drank slowly, eyes filling with tears, then whispered, "Bless you, small one. May the ancestors never forget this mercy." Kamsi appeared suddenly, pulling Chiamaka's arm roughly, hissing, "What are you doing? People say these strangers bring curses." As the crowd began to murmur and stare, the stranger reached into his ragged pocket and pressed something small and warm into Chiamaka's palm. The next morning, angry voices gathered outside Ngozi's compound, led by Chief Okonkwo and some market women pointing accusing fingers. They shouted that Chiamaka had brought danger by helping that cursed wanderer who vanished before dawn, leaving only fear behind. Ngozi stood at the doorway, arms folded tightly, defending her daughter while her voice shook with hidden worry and exhaustion. "Leave my child alone," she said firmly. "Kindness is no crime in this land, no matter what gossip you carry." Chiamaka hid behind the doorpost, clutching the strange warm object the stranger had given her, feeling its faint pulse against her skin. Kamsi sneaked over later, eyes wide with fear, whispering, "They say anyone who touches that man will fall sick or disappear too." That evening, strange shadows moved near their yam barn, and Ngozi found their best hen dead with no mark, just stiff and cold. Chiamaka's sleep broke with nightmares of dark hands reaching for her mother, while the small object in her palm grew warmer every hour. Chiamaka woke before dawn, sweat soaking her thin wrapper, the mysterious object now hot, like burning coal in her closed fist. Ngozi moved slower that day, coughing deeply, her once strong hands trembling as she tried to knead dough for the market. Villagers avoided their stall completely, whispering loudly that the family was cursed because of Chiamaka's foolish kindness to the stranger. Kamsi stopped visiting, sending a small boy instead with a message, "Stay away or the sickness will catch me too." Chiamaka sat alone under the mango tree, tears falling silently while she stared at the glowing object, wondering if she had doomed them all. That night, Ngozi collapsed beside the cooking fire, chest heaving, barely able to speak as fever burned through her tired body. Chiamaka ran through dark paths seeking the village Dibia, but doors slammed shut and voices shouted, "No help for those who court evil." As Ngozi grew weaker, the object in Chiamaka's hand began to pulse like a second heartbeat, filling her with strange hope and deeper fear. Dear listener, when the night feels longest and hope seems lost, that is when the greatest stories turn. If this moment grips your soul, subscribe now so we may walk together to the light that waits beyond the darkness. Chiamaka knelt beside her mother's mat all night, pressing wet cloth to Ngozi's burning forehead while silent tears streamed down her face. Ngozi's breathing grew shallow and ragged, each gasp sounding like the last thread holding her to this world slipping away. The small glowing object lay beside them, pulsing brighter now, yet offering no warmth or comfort to Chiamaka's trembling hands. Outside, village dogs howled endlessly under a moonless sky, as though mourning what everyone already believed was coming. Chiamaka whispered desperate prayers to Chukwu and the ancestors, begging for any sign, any miracle, but only silence answered her. Fear choked her throat so tightly she could barely speak her mother's name without her voice breaking into sobs. She imagined life without Ngozi, selling alone in the market, eating cold food, sleeping in an empty house, and the loneliness crushed her chest. In that darkest hour, when hope felt completely dead, the object suddenly flared with golden light, filling the small room with impossible warmth. The golden light from the small object swelled until it shaped itself into the form of the ragged stranger, now standing tall and radiant. Chiamaka gasped, stumbling backward, but the figure raised a gentle hand and spoke in a calm, deep voice that filled the room. "I am Eziani, once a prince of this very soil, cursed long ago by a jealous Dibia to wander as a beggar until one pure heart showed true kindness." Ngozi stirred weakly on the mat, eyes fluttering open at the sound, confusion and wonder mixing on her fevered face. The stranger continued softly, "Your daughter's single act of mercy broke the curse's final chain. Now I may repay what was taken from me." He touched Ngozi's forehead with two glowing fingers, and a soft warmth spread across her body, easing the terrible heat of the fever. Chiamaka watched in stunned silence as color returned to her mother's cheeks, and her breathing grew steady and strong once more. Eziani turned to Chiamaka, smiling with ancient kindness, and said, "The reward begins tonight, little one, but you must be brave for what comes next." At first light, Chief Okonkwo marched to Ngozi's compound with elders and angry market women trailing behind him like storm clouds. He banged his staff on the ground and shouted, "Come out, woman! Your daughter's foolishness has poisoned our village long enough." Ngozi stepped outside, now strong and steady, eyes blazing with a mother's fierce protection, while Chiamaka stood bravely beside her. The chief sneered, pointing at Chiamaka. "That child welcomed a cursed stranger, and now sickness spreads because of her reckless mercy." Chiamaka lifted her chin, voice small but clear. "The stranger was no curse. He was Eziani, a prince betrayed, and my kindness freed him." Laughter erupted from the crowd until Eziani himself appeared beside the girl, radiant and whole, his presence silencing every mocking tongue. Chief Okonkwo staggered back, staff dropping, stammering, "Impossible. You vanished years ago. The Dibia said you were dead." Eziani's voice rang like thunder over the compound. "The Dibia who cursed me sits among you now. Step forward, Matsi Okoye, and face the truth you buried." Matsi Okoye, the old Dibia, shuffled forward trembling, his walking stick shaking as every eye in the compound fixed upon him. Eziani's voice grew stern yet sorrowful. "You envied my father's throne, poisoned his cup, then cursed me to wander so your secret would die with me." The crowd gasped, stepping back while Chief Okonkwo's face drained of color, realizing the truth he had long suspected but ignored. Matsi Okoye fell to his knees, voice cracking. "Forgive me, Eziani. Jealousy blinded me. Power corrupted what little good remained in my heart." Chiamaka stepped closer, small but unafraid, and said softly, "Kindness broke your curse. Sir, perhaps forgiveness can heal what pride destroyed long ago." Eziani placed a hand on the old man's shoulder, light flowing gently, lifting the years of guilt without erasing the lesson carved deep. The village watched in hushed awe as Matsi Okoye rose transformed, no longer proud, vowing to use his remaining days serving the people he once harmed. Ngozi embraced Chiamaka tightly, tears of joy falling, while Eziani declared, "Justice is served, mercy prevails, and this family shall never know one again." Years later, the once quiet compound of Ngozi and Chiamaka blossomed into a lively place filled with laughter and plenty. A fine new house of red bricks and iron roof stood proudly where the old mud walls used to lean wearily against time. Chiamaka, now a young woman, ran a thriving provision store beside the market square, her kindness drawing customers from distant villages. Ngozi's health returned fully, and she spent her days teaching village children under the same mango tree where Chiamaka once cried alone. Eziani visited often in dreams, never asking for thanks, only reminding Chiamaka that one small act can ripple farther than the widest river. Chief Okonkwo stepped down quietly, and the people chose a new leader who valued fairness over loud voice or heavy staff. Matsi Okoye lived his final years humbly, healing minor ailments for free and telling every child the story of the stranger who was saved by mercy. So remember, my friends, in this wide world, kindness shown to one forgotten soul may one day return as blessing beyond what eyes can dream.